Well, Labor has rejected demands from the Greens and Teal Independents to increase its climate target. Let's go live to Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, there's a lot of pressure on Labor here, but there's equal amount on the Greens. They would be pretty smart, I think, to remember a decade ago when they really put in place and had an opportunity to end the climate wars, and they didn't.
Well, do they just hold out for everything they want, which is a 75% cut by 2030, which will never be agreed to by the new Labor government? Or do they try and end the climate wars, as you say? The view from Stephen Conroy, a former Labor Party power broker in Victoria this morning on Sky News, indicating it would be pig-headed of Adam Bandt to think that he can kind of steamroll Labor as the first act in a new government. This is going to be crucial, particularly in the Senate. Labor have indicated they want to legislate their 43% 2030 target. The coalition under Scott Morrison never legislated this because it was going to be tricky to get it through the parliament. The new Senate is going to be the sticking point for Labor here. It seems at the moment on the numbers, we're still yet to finalise this in the Senate, but the Greens will have 12 or 13 seats. If you combine that with Labor, those two parties will have a majority together. So it does really put into a spotlight the relationship with the Greens. But we've heard from the acting Prime Minister Richard Marles, the new Treasurer Jim Chalmers, that they are not going to be compromising on this climate pledge.
There has always been a crossbench to negotiate with in the Parliament, in the Senate, for as long as I've been involved in politics, but I'm really confident that the propositions that we took to the Australian people are propositions that we can navigate through the Parliament, and that's our intention.
OK, what if the Greens don't budge on their higher targets, though?
We've got a responsible plan, Pete, which we took to the Australian people. We feel there is a mandate for that.
That's on the left of politics. On the right of politics, the Liberals are still continuing to analyse this election result. How's the leadership contest shaping up, if there is one?
All but certain that Peter Dutton, Laura, will be uncontested as the Liberal leader to replace Scott Morrison. Don't expect to see this party room meeting anytime soon. They're going to wait, as usual, until all the results have been declared, and that way they will know exactly who is going to be in this slimmed-down Liberal party room. The contest, though, at the moment is regarding who will be Peter Dutton's deputy. There are 4 Liberal women being talked about at the moment, each potentially going to put their hand up, but you'd imagine we're not going to see a 4-way contest when the ballot finally emerges. Karen Andrews, a Queenslander like Peter Dutton, would be a question whether you're going to pick 2 Queenslanders on that ticket. The 2 senators here being talked about, Jane Hume from Victoria and Ruston from South Australia. It's been put to me this morning, potentially part of this is posturing for the positions in the Senate as well. If you were to get a deputy position within the Senate, within the party, does that therefore mean you have a bigger position in the Senate? And also that final name there, the lower house MP, Sussan Lee. It's my understanding she's been making calls, canvassing her support within the party already, confident particularly about her chances with Conservative members of the party. So a watch and wait. There is time for these women to be calling around and seeing what level of support they actually have. In terms of the future direction of the party, we're seeing this struggle between whether the party should tack left or right. The view from moderate New South Wales Senator Andrew Bragg this morning is the way to go is not the culture wars positions that we've seen, particularly over that Catherine Deves transgender issue during the campaign.
The Australian people are looking for a Liberal Party which is a live and let live Liberal Party, a Liberal Party which is focused on fairness, protecting minorities and ensuring that everyone gets a fair go. And I think the idea that you'd import US culture wars into Australia is a electorally bankrupt strategy.
Well, whose idea was that?
Well, I'm not sure how these issues received so much prominence, but they are not the issues that are on the minds of people.